Hi, this is Zach Wheeler. Welcome to the Phillies Show.
Tomorrow, Jr., Jim Salisbury, Todd Zolecki. It is Sunday, October 5th, 2025. I would ask everybody how they are doing, but the Phillies lost game one of the National League Division Series to the Los Angeles Dodgers at Citizens Bank Park, 5-3. Let's jump right into it. It's time for the Park's first pitch. First pitch is brought to us exclusively by our partners at Parks Casino, Pennsylvania's #1 casino. Guys, people are not happy. Phillies lose 5-3, nor should they be. And the thing that we're going to talk about a lot of different things that happen. A lot of things go into a loss every game. Of course, in the postseason, everything is magnified. But I couldn't help but think last night, talking to a couple guys walking out of the ballpark, the Phillies have now lost 4 of their last 5 postseason games at Citizens Bank Park. That's since Game 6 of the 2023 NLCS against the Diamondbacks. Red October, 4 hours of hell. Is it gone?
Who's it 4 hours of hell for? Is it for the Phillies or the other opposing team?
Exactly.
4 hours of 4 hours of quell, as in the fans have been very quiet.
Yeah, it's
quiet.
With the outcome of those games, it's hard to believe. I mean, the game 1 loss last night, it had a familiar ring to it, like game 1 of the Mets series last year. A little bit of early offense, don't sustain it, give away a lead. Bullpen gets hit. Though Sanchez left the door open a little bit. Robertson put Strom in a tough spot, and then Teoscar Hernandez, who is a tough postseason player, man, hits a big home run.
And he's hot.
Yeah.
It was a tough go. I mean, listen, whenever you get out to an early lead like that and you get the crowd into it, one of the things that the Phillies were doing when they were going really well is they'd score runs early, tack on another run, grab another run, flip in another one. Someone would pop one, another little home run, and they would slow things down. But you cannot do that with these teams in the playoffs, especially a team as talented as the Los Angeles Dodgers, and especially when your weakness is your bullpen. And that has been sort of the weakness. Now it's gotten better because Duran's back there, but it doesn't. We talked about it before. We'll talk about it again. The ugly 6th, 7th, and 8th is a little bit of a black hole for the Phillies. And they have to somehow figure out, and you have to have the 3-batter minimum. It puts them in a tough spot. All that stuff really puts them in a tough spot, and they don't have any lockdown guys that are like the bridge to Lidge, so to speak. Makes it difficult.
They miss Wheeler because Wheeler is a guy who would navigate his own 6th and 7th, It would be nice if they could have gotten that last night. It would be nice if they get that from Luzardo in game 2, which now is pressure. They're all pressure-packed, but it becomes increasingly pressure-packed. But the offense it has to sustain. You have chances late in that game. You end up 1 for 7 in scoring position. I mean, Harper's talking about they missed a lot of pitches right down the middle, but a lot of those pitches were 100. Shohei Ohtani, man, he had 23 swings and misses in 6 innings. Think about that.
You got to hit it. I mean, listen, he's got great stuff, and I know hitting is difficult. It was very difficult for me. But these guys are elite hitters, and at some point, you're going to have to put the bat on the baseball. If you don't, you're in trouble. These guys have really, really good stuff. Ohtani's a robot, man. He's a freaking robot. He's a bot, and it's really, really impressive. But he left some pitches in the middle. I mean, look at JT. JT smoked one in the right center field. Teoscar Hernandez was picking his nose in right. I don't know what he was doing.
Yeah, that was big.
Roll past him. Just bizarre, but you got to tack on runs, man. They had opportunities. Unfortunately, they had a bases loaded and they had a pinch hitter going in there with Edmundo, who often comes through, gets a pitch to hit and just misses it off of Vesia, but that's life. Got to come through. Knox.
Yeah. Schwarber skied that one up in the first inning. It was like 108 off the bat. He just missed that one as well. So some near misses, but you think back to the game and you go, wow, they scored. If I had told you yesterday afternoon, they're going to put 3 runs on Ohtani in the second inning. And I know it's not a one-man team. Far from it. The Dodgers are elite. But say now the Phillies pitchers, Ohtani's going to strike out 4 times. They carry a 3-0 lead into this. They're going to have a 3-0 lead with 2 outs and nobody on in the 6th inning. Everybody in the world would say, "Sign me up, baby." And I love my chances going in the rest of that game. And that's kind of, it's just absolute killer to lose that. And teams that have road teams, division series history in the current 2-2-1 format, teams to win game 1 on the road have advanced 34 of 46 times, 73.9% of the time. When the road team wins a current 2-2-1 series, they go on and advance to the NLCS. So tough task, whoever you're playing, especially with against the Dodgers.
No doubt. I thought Christopher Sanchez threw well. He did well. I think he generally did his job. Couldn't get through that 6, right?
Yeah.
And it sort of puts the team in a little bit of a difficulty. Listen, it's the Dodgers. They're not a joke. It's a really good team, and I know Christopher Sanchez had good stuff, good changeup, all that stuff. If he gets through the 6, man, they're in a really different position.
Different. All right, we're going to keep digging into this, but for now, that was First Pitch, presented exclusively by our partners at Parks Casino, Pennsylvania's #1 casino. ParksCasino.com is the website. You must be 21 to participate, and if you have a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
So you guys mentioned Harper and how he said he left some, missed some pitches, and you still got to hit him. Top of the Phillies lineup in game 1, Trey Turner, Kyle Schwarber, Bryce Harper, combined 1 for 11, 1 walk, and 6 strikeouts. Jim, you mentioned the team as a whole, 1 for 7 with runners in scoring position. They had opportunities. Harper, and again, this is a really small sample size, but pitches over the heart of the plate yesterday, and you said 100-mile-an-hour pitches and nasty breaking stuff and off-speed stuff. Pitches over the heart of the plate in game 1, Phillies batted 200. Very, very small sample size. It happens in every game to every team over the course of the season. But during the course of the season overall, the Phillies were 327 on pitches over the heart of the plate. So they did get some pitches. They did get some pitches they could hit. 100 miles an hour, nasty breaking stuff, splitters, whatever. But they couldn't handle it, and it doesn't get any easier with Blake Snell. Two on Monday night. So, offense needed to do a better job, and there seemed to be a lot of lamenting in the clubhouse that they should have done a better job, regardless of the quality of the stuff.
Should be lamenting. Those guys at the top of the lineup, combined, what are they making?
Yeah.
Oof. Well, there's two $300 million guys there.
They're making $80 million. They're the guys that need to come through. They can't necessarily rely on the Bohms and the Keplers and the Stotts and the Marshes. Can't. Those guys have to do their jobs too. And I really expect them to. I mean, there's a lot of baseball left. It's not. I know we're gloom and doom in here. There's a lot of baseball left, but their backs are a little bit against the wall, especially with a 5-game series. Man, you got to even it up to go into Los Angeles with a chance to bring it back to Philly.
And not to doom and gloom more on the offense, but if Teoscar cuts off that ball that Real Muto hit, they only get 2 runs off Ohtani in the second inning.
Right.
3 sounds a lot more than 2, and
sure does.
A lot more of a difficult, so the offense just was not there except for one little pocket.
Can't happen in just one inning. It's going to happen. It's going to happen more consistently, and the top of the order's got to get it done. It's their job. That's their job.
And that's why I think every Phillies fan probably thought this way, but after the second inning, they're up 3-0. You go, wow, and Turner, Schwarber, and Harper weren't even involved. So, man, maybe they can actually get to Ohtani, and obviously he settled in after that. Phillies had 3 hits. I think it was just 3 hits after the second inning, after JT's triple, Teoscar Hernandez assisted triple.
Ohtani had 4 1-2-3 innings.
Yeah.
4 1-2-3 innings out of 6. I mean, that second inning was
some pressure on the pitcher. There's no question about it, and they just got to do a better job offensively. What else is there to say? Is it the time off? I don't know. I don't think so necessarily. I do know this. Are they a little tight? Maybe. Are they trying to do too much? Maybe. But they need to go play baseball, and they need to go have some fun and do their damage because they're talented men, and that's what they're paid to do.
This, if you're looking for a silver lining, I mean, certainly it is the fact that this team has shown a lot of resilience.
No doubt.
Over the years, remember when they got swept in New York last month, and everybody's like, "Oh, they're screwed," and it's we were talking about letting the Mets back in, and it was almost like that series never happened as soon as they left New York, and then they cruised to the NL East title. Not saying it's going to happen again, just saying the Phillies are as well equipped as anybody to kind of maybe brush this one and bounce back, but it's going to be tough against the Dodgers. So a lot of fans are very upset with Rob Thompson's pitching moves, the moves that he made in the game. Did he let Christopher Sanchez stay in the game too long? Why did he have David Robertson start the bottom of the 7th inning instead of maybe Matt Strahm or instead of maybe somebody else? I don't know.
He went with the guys he trusts right now. He's trying to hold a lead. He's going with the guys that are supposed to be the plus pitchers. He went with the guys he's got. They have to perform. They don't perform. You walk people. You don't throw strikes. You don't
2-out walk. The 2-out walk by Sanchez was killer.
That was a killer, no doubt. But when you bring other guys in, you expect them to do their jobs. If they don't do their jobs, you're screwed. So then you look like a dope. But the reality is those guys have to perform. You bring them in for a reason. It happened last year when Hoffman blew up, and several guys blew up in that bullpen. You got to be able to pitch. You got to get your job done. If you don't get your job done, then you make the manager looks like looks like he doesn't know what he's doing.
Yeah.
Right.
I didn't have a problem with him sending Robertson through 6 sweat-free pitches to get out of that 6th. I didn't have a problem sending him back out for the 7th. And Robertson was hard on himself after the game, right, Todd? He said he put
he said
hits a guy with a pitch. He hits Will Smith with that pitch, gets a single, and then hits Will Smith. And now Strom's got to come in and clean up first and second with no outs, and he almost did it.
Almost got out of
it. It was the Robertson face and the 8 and 9 hole hitters. I mean, I know Pies is very good, but and Will Smith is very good. But yeah, that's why he's there. The one thing I've learned covering baseball over the years is, sometimes the moves work and sometimes they don't. Now, it doesn't mean the manager never makes a mistake and doesn't make any questionable decisions. I get it. But as you said, Ruben, the players have to perform in those spots. He put his trusted players in certain positions to perform. They did not perform. I was not watching this going, let me put it this way. When the 7th inning started and David Robertson jogged back out there, I wasn't like, what the hell is Rob Thompson doing? Now, when Nick Castellanos pitch hit for Harrison Bader, I was going, well, something is definitely up. This would be a highly unusual situation if Rob Thompson all of a sudden pinch hit Nick Castellanos for Harrison Bader in the 7th inning. It turns out there was an injury, but they just didn't do the job.
Rob Johnson went with the guys that he trusts right now. He doesn't trust Orion Kerkering when they're leading. He trusts them when they're behind. You see how well he threw the ball when they were behind? His stuff was filthy. But they were down 2-0 or down 2 runs at that point.
Right.
I don't think that he feels like Orion Kerkering can hold the lead. That's the reason why he didn't pitch. Had Orion Kerkering finished the season strong, he might have been in that situation after Dave Robertson came out. He might have been the guy to take the baseball, but he doesn't trust him right now. And I don't.
But he also had the lefties. He had to budget in his mind for Ohtani.
Correct.
Right. Now,
and then he had 2 lefties after Hernandez. So I could see what he was doing with the 3 lefty thing. He was trying to get kind of the best of both worlds. He wanted him on Ohtani, and then you have him at the back of that if you need him. So Hernandez put a good swing on a pitch down the middle.
Ranger Suarez was in the bullpen in game 1, but he was not a consideration at the time. Rob basically put him in the bullpen for an earlier game situation. If Sanchez ran into some serious trouble, you got to win that game. And so he liked the idea of having Suarez maybe come in if, something happened, an injury to Sanchez, he had to leave the game early. So he had Suarez out there for that situation. He was not, Rob said he was not out. Maybe he should have been. I don't know. I mean, what do you think about
Correct me if I'm wrong here. There was a man on first and second when Teoscar Hernandez was at the plate.
Mm-hmm.
So essentially there's a base open. You have a left-handed hitter hitting behind him. I always believe that when you have a hot hitter like a Hernandez who's been outstanding, and I know it's Freddie Freeman hitting behind him, you basically have a base open. You really do. So you have to be super careful. And I think that they just threw too many pitches in the zone to Teoscar. You can nibble. You can be a little finer. They went right after him. And I know Strom is generally a guy that goes after guys, but why not make him try to swing over a couple of sliders? Why not, throw some pitches out of the zone, make him chase a little bit? My strategy is, okay, am I going to let Teoscar Hernandez beat me? Or am I going to let Freddie Freeman, who's a left-hander, beat me? Which way do I go? And if I feel more confident getting, Freddie Freeman out and I'm a left-hander, then maybe you're a little bit more careful with Teoscar Hernandez. The man's been the hottest freaking hitter in baseball for the last few, games. I mean, sometimes I think that there's a strategy that goes on in the game that some people don't understand, that I feel like, hey, make the guy chase. If you walk him, so what? Bases loaded. So what? You still got Freddie. You can still get Freddie Freeman out. Just a thought.
So during the game, after Hernandez homers, this screen grab of the pitch seconds before to Teoscar Hernandez popped up. I don't know if Ruben, did you see this?
Yeah, I saw this. Yeah,
so
I saw that.
Pages is signaling. Everybody goes, oh my gosh. Well, obviously Pages can see directly into Matt Strom's glove.
Correct.
He can see that he's throwing him a fastball. Now, I talked with Strom after the game about it, and I showed him this image, and I said, everybody thinks it. Pages was telling Teoscar, here comes a fastball, and Strom basically dismissed it, and here's why. He basically said, if you know this, I throw every single one of my pitches with my fingers right next to each other. So he said, where I have the ball in my glove, he would have to have like incredible vision, Pages, because the only thing he would have been able to notice is if could he actually see where the horseshoe is positioned deep into my glove. He's like, if he could actually see that, God bless him, tip of the cap. I don't believe he was signaling to Hernandez, here comes a fastball.
He did that signal twice. I saw him do that signal twice, once on Mookie, and Mookie missed the fastball.
And so
the one that popped up.
Strom's feeling is that the arm out was maybe where the pitch was. It was location. It was location. So what? Now, if you looked at the pitch and where JT was set up, he was set up inside, and the pitch was out over the plate. So he missed his location, but it was up and right in kind of, as JT said, right in his sweet spot. He's like, Teoscar does very well, as he proved on a pitch out over the plate. He went out and got it. And so I just wanted to mention that again. If you're watching us on YouTube, you can see. I mean, just search for Matt Strom, tipping, and on the internet today, you can see that. But Strom said no, he was not telling people what pitch was coming,
and he didn't execute the pitch. Right, he was supposed to throw a fastball in. He left it out over the plate, and it got nailed. And when it first went off the bat, I thought maybe it was just a fly ball, but Teoscar's got a lot of power to right center field. You've seen it over the last several weeks.
Yeah, I thought the same thing. Off the bat, I was like, the way Bader was running after it, I was like, oh, he might catch this ball at the warning track. And then obviously he just ran out of real estate. The only and Strom thought the same thing. Bader thought the same thing. The only person that said off the bat he thought it was trouble was JT because he was right there and he could hear the impact of the bat off the ball, or the ball off the bat, I should say. So, Game 2 is on Tuesday night, 6:08 p.m. We're going to talk about the Game 2 matchup in a second. But, Ruben, what's going on at Parx Casino?
Yeah, Parx Casino is my casino of choice. They got it all. Action, excitement, headline, entertainment. Plus, if you live in Central or Northern Jersey or in New York, the closest live tables are at Parx Casino off Exit 6 of the Jersey Turnpike. Parx Casino, Pennsylvania's #1 casino. Play thousands of hot slots, a state-of-the-art sports book, a beautiful poker room, the Liberty Bell Beer Garden, and a collection of award-winning restaurants. Parx Casino, this is how you win. Tickets on sale right now for headliners just announced. December 5th, Straight No Chaser. December 6th, comedian Ken Young. I've seen him there one time. Pretty cool. December 12th, Get the Let Out, a Led Zeppelin tribute. Plus, on October 25th, Almost Queen. We talked about this before. On the 21st of November, Air Supply. And then on the 22nd, comedian Brian Regan. And there's another comedian on the 26th, Joey Diaz. ParxCasino.com to buy tickets for all the shows. ParxCasino.com. This is how you win. You must be 21. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Harrison Bader left the game with a strain. Oh, I'm sorry. It was announced initially he left the game with a strained hamstring, and you're going, oh my gosh, worst case scenario for the Phillies. They lose their center fielder. That affects so much what they can do in terms of the lineup and how they match up against guys. Then after the game, Rob Thompson said it's actually just quad tightness.
Groin tightness.
Oh, I'm sorry. Groin tightness. I'm sorry. Groin tightness. Thanks, Jim. But he's going to get some imaging on it today. After the game, Harrison Bader, I mean, it sounded about as confident as you could get about a guy who left the game, a postseason game, in the 7th inning because of a leg injury. I don't know what.
Can't imagine that he'll be back. I can't imagine if he's got a real groin strain. I can't imagine he can play.
Well, they used the word tightness, so there were a lot of mixed signals coming out of there. It was at first it was a
hamstring
strain, and then an hour later it was groin tightness. And Bader was very confident he'll be back. I don't know. I just know how cautious they are with stuff, but I also know it's the time of the year where you're going all out. He made a great play on a ball last night. If he's not in there, they are going to miss him. He also had that great at bat in the 2nd inning.
Yes.
So you have to hope that he's okay, but who knows?
The lineup totally changes. The defense totally changes. You mentioned that play, Jim, the diving catch. A lot of people were wondering, like, why did Rob Thompson hit Harrison Bader 8th in Game 1? Because he wanted a high. You have Trey Turner back, and you have a high on base percentage guy at the bottom of the lineup to help turn the lineup over. Now you have a guy maybe on base for Trey Turner and Kyle Schwarber. Hypothetically, theoretically, that those guys knock Harrison Bader in because he's on base. So it changes everything. Now Brandon Marsh, if he's unable to play, he has to play center field. You lose one of the platoons situations, and would be bad news. But Harrison said after the game, I definitely feel like I'll be able to come back for sure. We have an off day tomorrow. We'll just get some imaging and go from there. But I mean, anytime I hear imaging,
when I hear imaging, I think Aiden Miller.
Aiden Miller coming up. I mean,
just to have another right-handed bat and somebody who can run the bases.
That would be a heck of a thing.
I don't know.
Yeah, Justin Crawford. People, if they were wondering about Justin, I mean, he's a left-handed bat, but he finished this. He had a concussion at the end of the year, and they sent him home and said he was done. But that would be very problematic.
I don't think he's the get hot camp. I don't think that he's ready.
No, he's not. He's not in the get hot camp. Aiden Miller's not in the get hot camp either. They don't have any outfielder. They don't have any
get hot in a hurry.
Yeah.
and Johan Rojas has got the quad, right? So
yes.
Who is that person?
Right.
Well, Rojas is still active, right? He's just.
It could be Garrett Stubbs
going easy, right?
It could be Garrett Stubbs. They could free up Marshawn to hit as a pinch hitter, as a switch hitter. That's a possibility.
Yeah.
If they have to IL him. The question is, does the rule still apply that if you IL for this round, that you are also automatically on the IL for the next round? I think that is.
I believe so.
I think that's still in play. I do not know if that rule is still being utilized.
I mean, maybe there's maybe again, if you're a Phillies fan, if you're the Phillies, you're hoping that Bader felt some tightness, as they said after the game, groin tightness, and he's like, I just don't want to blow out. I'm a little nervous. And then he gets the imaging today. It's like, actually, we'll work on you for the next 48 hours, and he'll be back in the lineup for game 2.
Against the lefty. They need that bat against the lefty.
I would just be really surprised that it was a cautionary move, because cautionary moves you don't make in the playoffs, man. If he was able to play, I think he'd stay in there. He must have something, because guys like that don't come out of the game unless there's something going on. And that concerns me. I hope against hope that I'm completely wrong, but I would be surprised that he doesn't go on the IL after having been taken out with a groin issue.
Well, that would be a tough loss. Well, how do we feel about Rob's pitching decision? He's going to go with Luzardo in game 2. I think I'm fine with it. I just think Luzardo being down one game, his big challenge is going to be, controlling his emotions, controlling the pressure of it all.
I think the idea was brilliant, because it allows Suarez to pitch in a couple of games if they really needed him. Obviously, they didn't use him. And now he's still, at least for now, he's still able to be, to start on regular, in the third game. But they also have Nola just in case. I mean, they have Nola as the 4th guy. So if they have to utilize him, and they might have to, because this next game is a kind of a do or die type of a game. If they have to use him, then Nola's probably pitching game 3.
You got it.
Am I wrong?
Yeah. No, I can see that. You have to win game 2. You can't lose game 2 and go, well, we've won 3 games in a row before. Sure, they have,
but not in Dodger Stadium.
Not in Dodger Stadium in the postseason. It's an entirely different animal. But yeah, it's Blake Snell versus Jesus Luzardo in game 2. Snell in his career against the Phillies, 2-3, 3.89 ERA. He faced him
his last time out against him, he was filthy. And he has got a changeup working right now. He's the biggest swing and miss pitcher in baseball. Phillies swing and miss a lot lately. It's not a great matchup for the boys, and they're going to have to make some adjustments, especially righties against that left-handed changeup. It's been outstanding, and he has a great hammer.
Blake Snell, Dodger Stadium, September 17th, 7 scoreless innings, 2 hits, 2 walks, 12 punch outs.
Just 12.
Just 12.
And he's got enough cockiness to him that he'll love pitching. This environment ain't going to intimidate him. I mean, the Phillies got to go out and have good at bats against the guy. Put some traffic on the bases early and sustain.
Well, the other thing it'll do is, if you put traffic on the bases, this sounds kind of crazy, but you can get an extra 90 feet on the guy, because he doesn't have a good pickoff move. He doesn't hold runners, and he bounces a lot of balls. You can anticipate balls in the dirt on him. You can do a lot of things to put some pressure on him if you get base runners on and make something happen. He's not very good in the stretch.
Again, obvious, but they've got to get to an early lead, because if they fall behind early, it's going to have that 2023 Game 7 vibe at Citizens Bank Park.
No doubt.
It's going to have that Game 5 2011 NLDS vibe at Citizens Bank Park, where you can feel how tight the fans are, because they're thinking, holy, are they going to lose this? Is the season going to be over? So they got to get to an early lead and get the crowd into it.
You made a great point, though, Todd. This is one of the most resilient teams. They bounce back and win games like this after being knocked down. They get knocked down, man, and they bounce right back up. And I am actually confident that they're going to come out and play a good game of baseball, because now their back's against the wall, and their resilience over the last several years has been something that's real positive.
Well,
and that is
I was going to say they need they need their three big boys at the top to do something, because when your big boys do something, it kind of puts a feeling through. Everybody takes an exhale throughout the whole dugout that, Big Brother is back. Our stars are back, and it makes everybody feel a little bit better, and everybody breathes a little bit. When you relax a little bit, you play better. When you're tight, you play like crap.
And let me just say this again, and I'll reiterate: if those guys don't come through, they're in trouble.
Yeah,
that's what they're paid to do. And if you want to start throwing blame here and there on Thompson, the big boys are paid to do that job. The big boys have to come through and do their jobs.
Absolutely. Absolutely. We will be back. We're going to have more shows this week. Hopefully more shows this month.
Many, many more shows.
You got to win game 2 on Monday night, guys. 6:08 p.m. Eastern. Check out, before we go, PhillyShowShop.com. If you want to support the show, we appreciate it. Scan the QR code on your screen if you're watching us on YouTube.
There's some people buying a lot of stuff, man. It's going off the shelves.
It's pretty cool. Yeah, the PhilliesShowShop.com. I was on the main concourse yesterday. Had a lot of people stop and say, "Hey, I really enjoy the podcast." Myself and you two guys, of course. So that's always cool to see. I really do appreciate the support people have given the show. It's very cool. It's very cool to see how people.
It's cool when people come up to you and say, "Man, I watch it religiously" and stuff like that, or listen to it religiously. It's really neat. And Jim, I think your haircut is delicious.
I got a major haircut.
It looks tremendous. I got one too, but I got no hair left.
Yeah.
Jimmy, you were looking.
Tighten it up too, Todd?
No, I just wake up looking like this, Ruben. I wake up like this, Ruben.
That's how you do. That's how you do.
So, Ruben, not to bring up bad memories, but
bring them up.
This is what somebody says before they bring up a bad memory.
Yeah, the Dodgers had lost 7 straight playoff games in Philadelphia. Their last win in Philadelphia was October 5th, 1978, when Tommy John shut them out in Game 2 of the NLCS.
Flipping it up there.
And Tommy John, 1978, and then the Phillies, of course, won 5 in the LCS in 08 and 09 against the Dodgers. So they have this long history. And they broke the spell. They had lost 7 straight in Philadelphia postseason games and 5 straight at Citizens Bank Park. And as you mentioned, Todd, the Phillies have lost 4 of their last 5 playoff games at home, and feels like the invincibility is ebbing. So got to get it back.
We got to get it back. Couple early runs and then add on. Got to do that.
Correct.
So check us out. Thanks to everybody. We will be back this week.
Smell you later.
Smell you, Jim.
The Philly Show is brought to you by the Foul Territory Network. Subscribe to The Philly Show on YouTube and wherever you get your podcasts.